Catherine Smith.
All right, well, good morning, everybody. Thank you guys all for coming. Welcome to Coldwell Banker Associated Brokers. What is this? Episode 4 of Sales Mastery. And today is all about the open house. And the reason that I'm so excited about it being about the open house is because we have not been able to do one for 16 months. For you guys, everyone in this room being newer, and by the way, if you want to take notes, I'm going to blast you with info. You're going to want notes. I'm just going to let you guys know. I guarantee it. But I will tell you that most businesses, and of our top 50, I would probably say that at least 40 to 45 of them, their entire businesses were built on open houses. Mine was built on open houses. If someone were to pick me up and were to drop me in Boise, Idaho and say, Chuck, you need to make money, what would I do? I would sit 6 open houses a week, take 1 day off until I had at least probably 6 or 7 escrows in, and then I would stop. Well, I wouldn't stop. Then I would probably take it down to 5 and 4 and stuff. But if you just do open houses, if you don't have a big sphere, especially for you guys that are not from the area. So you're from North Carolina, right? Did you ever live in this area?
I lived in Temecula at one time.
For how long?
Just a year.
Okay, so you didn't have time to build those lifelong relationships that you need to be successful, right? I mean, so that means that you have to go in cold, right? You have to go in and you have to meet people, and you can't rely on your database and can't rely on the people you know in your sphere and your brothers and your sisters and your friends and coworkers. So that being the case, the open house is the best thing you can possibly do to build your business. So I do want to tell you that it's going to be very difficult to find properties to sit right now. That is the nature of the beast. And I don't want to knock anybody who was, how many people were on the open house call yesterday? Okay. So that open house call, there was some great advice, a lot of good details, but one of the things that I just wanted to say is, it was mentioned that one of the best things to do is just put it into CB Buzz. I want to sit in an open house, hit me up. That's not going to cut it. You have to go into the MLS. You have to see who listed a property inside of this company. When you go to listing agents down below, you type in Coldwell Banker Associated Brokers in the MLS. It'll show you all the listings that we have. You have to chase that agent down like a dog with a bone. And you have to say, I saw you just listed a vacant house, senior one in Sun City or whatever that may be. Can I please sit this open for you? Okay, so that's what you have to do. Don't think that putting it in Buzz is going to be enough, because everybody's going to be fighting over those listings. Does anybody have a listing coming up? Anybody yet? Okay, good. So Chris, the problem is the way that we used to get listings is you get listings with listings. So you take that listing, you send out just listed cards, you advertise the hell out of it, you do open houses, you do social media posts, all that stuff. They're gone so fast now that you can't do that. This is not a normal world. Just so you guys know, when it comes to this craziness in the market, this is not a normal world. So you just have to fight and scrap and kiss the agents' butts inside this company to be able to sit their listings. And so that's the first thing I want you to know. So like I mentioned, some people's entire business plan, if you were to sit down with me and say, Chuck, I want to show you my business plan, and people come up with this intricate stuff, I'm going to farm this neighborhood, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but if you came in and you just turned it around and it said 4 open houses a week, you're getting a high five and a hug, okay, because that is a good, solid business plan, period. Good, solid business plan. So it is hands down the quickest way to a paycheck. I know some of you guys have come into this business and you got your license, and Giselle, I'm just going to ask you, is this business difficult?
Yes.
Is this business difficult, Anthony?
Oh, definitely.
Let me just say, it's a bitch. All right, this is a tough business, but once you get that momentum train going, you're rocking and rolling. Okay, but you got to get that momentum train going. So you got to get that first sale. You got to get those first things. But if for example, my son came into the business, he comes home from college and he sits, he works in real estate when he comes home. The one piece of advice I give him is that the quickest way to a paycheck is an open house. That is the quickest way to a paycheck. You could just get lucky and somebody walks in and they love it and it's done and you're writing it. Latriva, the receptionist up front, anybody who's friends with her, you guys saw that, right? She sat her first open house on Saturday. Somebody came in, they loved it, she wrote it, and did anybody here, did it get accepted? Because I heard that it got accepted. It did get accepted. So Saturday, sat an open house, somebody came in, wrote it, accepted, done. She sat her license for a week. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about with open houses. You can sit right up here if you want. Right here. Sorry. So that's why I get so pumped about it, right? Because who likes money? Money's good. All right. So that's the first thing. And the other part about it is, everything we've done has had to be digital. So because it's digital, you don't get to use the real, us right now. How many times, I've seen all you guys on Zoom, but how many of you have never seen me in person? Isn't it different? You know what I mean? So now I have a chance to say, hi, Giselle, it's so good to see you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where before I'd be like, hi, so face-to-face, belly-to-belly is what it's all about. So if you were to go work on a team, for example, and you guys know there's teams out there, the way teams operate is, here's the difference. Here's a team versus a regular agent. All a team does is manages you and makes you do stuff. That's all the team leader does. So you're going to give half your commission away so that you can be told to do something because you can't do it yourself. That's really what a team is. So that being the case, teams require everyone on that team to sit an open house at least 1 day a week. I'd say like 80% of the business that the team members that are on the team get and that close, they're getting that business from just doing what they're told, which is the stuff that you can do on your own without needing a team leader to do that. Does that make sense? You don't need somebody to tell you what to do. You just need to sit an open house 1 day a week, right? And we're going to talk about when and how, but there's no inventory and all that. How are we going to overcome that? I'm going to talk about that. So like I said, posting in Buzz is not enough. You have to look in the MLS. And have you guys learned like the asterisk and stuff? Like when you use the asterisk, you can put in like Coldwell Banker, and this is how I remember it. Coldwell Banker ASS, asterisk, will show you all our listings. Okay, I know that sounds really crazy, but that's how I remember it. And it'll show you, and then you can kind of look at when it was listed and all that sort of stuff, and then call that agent and kiss some butt, right? So Coldwell Banker, ASS, star, down in the listing column, will show you all of our stuff. Pull everything up. Now again, make sure that when you do pull these up, you're looking at where these properties are located. If I am in the back of Duluth, okay, I don't want that property. If I'm in, Hemet on the way up to the pass heading into Beaumont, I don't want that listing. I want to make sure that any listing that I do get is somewhere that is very high profile. Main drags, huge. If you can get something like, for example, if you're in Senior Sun City and you can sit something that Vicki has that's on McCall or it's on Bradley, or it's on Sun City Boulevard or whatever, those are the ones you want to sit, right? You want high traffic areas. You don't want stuff that's back. So that's really important. And again, calling the agents directly. So when you do get that open house that somebody's finally going to allow you to sit, and you start really blasting it out on social media, because you're going to blast it, right? You're going to blast it. And remember, when you do blast out that you're going to be sitting in an open house on social media, make sure that your picture is in it. Don't put a vacant house up there, right? Because if you just put a picture of the house, it's going to bomb. It's only going to get 2 likes, and then you're going to drop to the bottom of the algorithm, and nobody's going to ever see your stuff. So stop by the house, take a picture. What I would do is the day before, stop by, go live. Hey, this is Giselle. Just wanted to let you know I'm going to be sitting in this badass house tomorrow. All right, so make sure that you come by. Here's the address, blah, 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 blah. That way you can at least start to leverage that listing and make it look like your own. You guys with me? Don't say like, I'm so happy to have Mike Zing's listing right here that I get to sit. That doesn't make you look good. Your job right now is to create legitimacy as newer agents. You have to look like you're for real, right? You have to fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. Nobody needs to know that that was Norma's first deal. Okay? Nobody needs to know that. And don't go celebrating. I got my first escrow. No, we don't do that. Don't ever say that. All right? Just say, another deal closed. Here I go. I'm a badass. So as far as you know, as far as they know, this is your listing. So when you do, and try to pick it early. So for example, if somebody puts a listing in on Monday, and number one, you got to hope that property's still there by Saturday or Sunday, right? I mean, that's the big thing. But in my opinion, it's listing agents' in their best interest to at least go through 1 weekend anyway, of seeing how many offers they can collect and do that. So if Raymond came to me and Raymond said, hey, Chuck, I want to sit your listing open, I would say, okay, cool, we'll just make sure that we're going to look on Monday at what offers come in and yada, yada, yada. But more importantly than that, I would have to say, hey, Raymond, since I'm going to sit your listing, could you please syndicate it? This is really, really important that you have to ask them to syndicate it as an open house. What that means is they put in the computer, they go in the MLS, and they put in the computer that this house will be sat open on Saturday. You guys with me? If you don't do that, then it's not going to be going out digitally at all. A lot of people go sit open houses, and they don't even realize that the agent did not select it to be shown online and syndicated among all of the different resources out there in the world, because you put it in the MLS and it spreads out to everywhere. So you're losing out on all the potential digital audience of people swinging by. You with me? So you always, always, always ask them, make sure that the listing agent syndicates it and puts it out there that the open house is going to be coming up. The other part about that is don't have them do it on Thursday, because it takes like 24 hours, right, Vicki, to get that in. So if you do it on Thursday, it goes in on Friday, you sit the open house on Saturday, it was only available for 1 day. So if you can get them to do that on Monday or Tuesday, that's going to be the big thing. All right? Let's see. Another great place to put that you're sitting that open house is closed Facebook groups. Hopefully you guys have joined as many as you possibly could. Temecula Talk, whatever they are, whatever groups you're a part of. I don't care if it's the Lake Elsinore Animal Friends, okay? Put it out there. Who cares? They took me down. Big deal. You put it out there, right? So everywhere you possibly can, put out that you are sitting in open house, right? Put it out there. All the closed groups you possibly can. The other thing is, create a post or a story a couple of days before, or at least 24 hours before, and just say, hey, I'm going to be sitting, here I am, I'm sitting in an open house this week, and by the way, if you'd like to set an appointment for it, swipe up and you can set an appointment or send me a contact, whatever, and I'll make sure that I get you in, because I'm only allowed to have one group in at a time. So if you want to come take a look at this house, please let me know. So I'm putting it in my stories, I'm inviting them to my open house, I'm putting it in closed Facebook groups, I got the listing agent putting it out in the MLS and syndicating the property, right? So I'm starting to build some momentum to make sure that I can get people to attend, right? Because that's the key. We don't really seem to have that problem right now, but we did in the past, and we will again. So when you are going to do it again that morning, when you're putting out all your signs, swing by the house first, go live. Hey everybody, just wanted to let you know I'm going to be sitting in this open house today from 10 to 2. If you want to come by for a personal showing, message me right now. Just let them know that. And when you are doing your live, always put a hook about the property. Always put some form of a hook, like, oh shit, guys, you guys are going to love this, whatever. Right? This master closet is the bomb, right? All your shoes will fit there, Melda, whatever. So like, or whatever it is, just make sure that you highlight that, or this pool is going to be one of the best, right? So that's one of the big things is using a hook. So let me go through it again. Ask the listing agent to syndicate it and put it out into the world, right? Number 2, we got to make absolutely sure that it's in all the Facebook groups that you're a part of, the closed ones. You're going to create a poster story, swiping up to set appointments. Right? And I'm going over this again, but too bad. Use a hook. This is the best part of this property. You got to come see this pool. It's off the charts, right? The next thing is, hey, by the way, when you come by, I'm going to be giving out 5 gift certificates for $10 each to Starbucks. So just want to let you know, come by for the drawing. Just come by to say hi. I'm bored. I'm going to be here all day. If you don't, I'm going to kill you. So like whatever. Use your personality. And just remember this. So what about putting out signs? How many signs do you guys think you need to put out? How many would you guess? 6. How many would you guess?
100.
You're my boy, Blue. That's what I'm talking about. So yes, again, and it depends on where you're located. So for example, if I'm in a typical track in, say, Murrieta, I'm going to put them all around the front, right? I'm going to have them coming down the streets at the major intersection pointing this way, major intersection pointing this way, coming down the street into the track on all the corners everywhere I can. The nice thing about tracks, and something you got to remember, there's usually 2 outlets, right? There's one way and one way in, and then another way out, or another way in, another way out. So pepper the streets with open house signs. And you know, Vicki and your mentor can talk to you guys more about the fact that you can only put out, you know, signs in certain areas. Menifee will pick up your signs. There's a few things, and you just got to be ready. You can go back and get those, right? Once they pick them up, you can still go get them, Vicki?
I don't know anymore.
Oh, you don't know anymore? Oh, well, yeah, they probably shut down that department. So do it quick. Put out as many as you can before they hire that person that probably got fired because there was no work for him because there's an open house sign. So just remember this. The number of signs equals the number of groups that you're going to have through. If I put out 3 signs, I'm most likely going to have 3 people through. If I put out 20 signs, I'm going to have 20 people through. It's a pain in the ass, you know what I mean? I mean, it's not fun to put out signs. It's probably one of the least fun parts of what we do, but it's the breaks, right? So you can manipulate somebody into doing it, I promise. So the number of groups equals the number of signs. You guys with me? Pepper them. You can never have too many. You can never have too many. Have you guys heard of the 5-5-10 rule? Anybody heard of the 5-5-10 rule? Cool. So if you've read my book, like one of my big things is, and I don't know the rules on this, Vicki, so I'm going to caveat by saying, if you do this, I didn't approve of this, but if you do it, I didn't approve. Okay, so anyways. So here's the house. I'm looking out at the street. I'm going to knock 5 doors this way, 5 doors this way, and 10 across the street. And I'm going to go with a flyer, and I'm going to say, you know, hey, just wanted to let you know I'm sitting, you know, whatever. Or you can hang it on the door, because I know the COVID rules and all that stuff, which are probably lifted. But generally what we used to do is you'd knock on the door, and you say, hi, I'm Mark. Just want to let you know I'm going to be sitting Steve and Betty's house right down the street. It's going to be open from 10 to 4 today. But if you want to come by at 9:30, I'm going to be there a little bit early. I wanted to invite all the neighbors, because a lot of times you guys have friends and family looking to move the neighborhood. So by doing that, I am building contacts. And if you can start getting into conversations with people, next thing you know, you start to become the expert, and you start to build a relationship with that person. And what's your goal with anything you do? I'm trying to get their contact information, right? I'm trying to invite them, and I'm trying to get their contact information. Now I've built some form of a relationship. And again, I'm not sure if we're allowed to do that, Vicki. It's questionable. So you know, you can also put door hangers on there, you know, whatever. And I know marketing has a bunch, and I think Point has a bunch, and Older Public has a bunch. And so we can get door hangers, but you can talk to your mentor on where to get those. But most importantly, just letting the neighbors know that you're coming out. Do you guys like that? I mean, it works. Does it suck? Do you want to go door knock? No. Does it work? Yes. Do you like money? Yes. Here's the deal. If I knew that I knocked on 100 doors and behind one of them would be $10,000, would you do it?
Yes.
But most people don't. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of funny. So, but anyways, all right. So what about the fact of, you know, it's raining. It's raining. I can't sit at the open house. It's raining. It's raining. Oh, you know what? It's a holiday. It's New Year's Day. I'm not going to sit an open house on New Year's Day. Okay. If it's raining, you sit that open house. If it's a holiday, you sit that open house. Do you guys know why? If you sit an open house on a day that it's raining, those buyers that are coming through are serious. If somebody comes through, and I have been drunk, hungover, just mess on New Year's Day before, and I sold a house. You know, I sold like an $800,000 house off of just happened to be sitting on, I mean, I could barely function, but on New Year's Day, because I did it. You know what I mean? So one of the most important things is, if the weather is not good, if it is raining, those are serious buyers. If it is a holiday and they're out wandering around and they've got their kids with them and all that stuff, they are a serious buyer, and that's what we're looking for. So I will take 5 buyers on a rainy day over 10 buyers on a sunny day anytime. You with me? Okay. So I know, but the sellers don't want me trudging over their carpet. Who cares? We're in the business to sell. So anyways, all right. The next thing is, but Chuck, there's no listings out there for me to sell. Everybody's sitting in this house already on Saturday. Can you sit it during the week? If you can sit it during the week, sit it during the week. The market is hot. I don't care if it's Tuesday. I don't care if it's Thursday. I don't care if it's Wednesday. Sit that property no matter when you possibly can, especially in like Senior Sun City or across the freeway over there. Well, you can't sit in that certain developments, right? But if you can, just try to sit as much as possible. Right now, you have the time, and it is an effective use of your time. And then you're going to be getting a chance to do this, Jacob, to sit across and talk to somebody, which is the key. So during the week is big. How long should I sit an open house? What do you guys think?
8 hours.
8 hours. That's how much a work day is, right? Most people are like, I'll be sitting this thing from 11 to 2. And you're like, you set up all those signs, you did all that work, you worked with the lender getting them to give you like the full flyer with all the payment options and all that stuff, and you're going to sit there for 3 hours. That is so typical. 3 hours is so typical. But your job, I mean, if it's just the difference between being somebody that's killing it and making a ton of money versus somebody that's not. It's commitment. It's just commitment and time. So my suggestion to you guys is, at least 10 to 4. If you can. It takes forever to set these things up. You'll see. It's work to set these things up, and then you do it for 3 hours. It's a waste of your life. I didn't get anybody through. Yeah, you were there for 90 minutes, or 2 hours. So, that's it.
And Chuck, if you want to be the best friend of a listing agent right now, they have so many appointments they need to schedule for on the weekends with their sellers and stuff. If you tell them you're going to sit that open house from 9 to 5 on a Saturday, you're going to make their life so much easier, and you'll be the first person they call when they need an open house done.
That's a really great point. So do you guys understand what he's saying? Yeah. I mean, that's a great point. So really good stuff. Okay, so that's just one more suggestion, is sit it as long as you possibly can. Try to build as many contacts as you can. But now, here's what you're going to find. And I want you to remember I said this because it's very painful, and very painful. I had 10 people through my house. 3 of them I felt like I connected with. I felt like, we had some good conversations. Everything seemed really great. Then they ghosted me. I never heard from them again. I thought they were great. How many times have we heard that over our lifetime, Vicki? I mean, it is like crazy how many people will ghost you, right? So just be aware that there are certain things that you have to do to make sure you don't get ghosted. And I'm going to tell you how to make sure you don't get ghosted. But first, I'm going to get into the details that Margaret and Vicki and everybody want me to tell you. So I'm going to tell you this stuff, whatever. All right, so there's no requirements on appointments for open houses right now, right? Meaning, on an open house, someone can walk in. However, there's only supposed to be one group at a time, right? One group at a time. Everybody else has to wait outside, which I guarantee you're going to have a line. You have to wear your masks. They are required to sign in. I know Vicki's got the form, and I think it's been sent out to everybody. The good part about that form is it has all their contact information on it. That's my favorite part about that form. Because normally they're going to give you, my name is Mickey Mouse. My number is, like whenever I give somebody, like a telemarketer calls, or I meet a telemarketer, I always give them Tom Wysocki's number instead of mine, just so that, every time. That guy must get so many calls. But anyway, so, but requires a sign in, posted rules of entry. They have to be posted. Jen's got those here in marketing. We can email those over to you. And if they're with an agent, of course, they still have to have a PED. And then we have to sanitize, right, and open windows and let flow in and stuff. So whatever, that's the stuff you got to do. And did I forget anything, Vicki?
And it's on zip forms now.
Oh, it's on zip forms.
It is on zip forms.
Oh, so all of the forms that they need are on zip forms?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, cool. So that's that. Yeah, details from details. All right, whatever. So sign-in sheets are required. So now how do I land the client? Somebody walks in to Giselle's open house, and you feel like, okay, these guys seem cool and all that sort of stuff. And one of the first things you do is, of course, you're going to have them sign into that thing. They're most likely going to give you the wrong name and the wrong phone number. Mickey Mouse and somebody that dislikes phone number. I like Tom. Okay, but anyway, so then you have to figure out, how can I get their info? One of the things that used to happen all the time that used to drive me insane is agents would come up to me and say, hey, Chuck, I gave away 10 business cards today, 10 different groups. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, how many did you collect? I didn't get any, but they're going to call me. All right? They're not going to call you. They are not going to call you. Let me just tell you again, they are not going to call you. They're not going to look at the card and type in your number and call you. So that's number one. Number one, do not expect anybody to call you. There's something called being passive in life, and there's something about being aggressive in life. The aggressive agent wins. The passive agent doesn't. Is that in the shot? So just be aware that you have to get their information. So I never ask. So anytime, and I don't have my phone on me, but who's got their phone? Get your phone on you? Let me see that real quick. So when I ever meet anybody, I know you guys have heard me say this before, but when anybody ever calls me, all right, or I meet them and they say, hey, do you have a business card on me? I always say, you know what, I don't have any cards on you, but you know what, can I just add you to Facebook real quick? That's always what I do. I never, ever, ever, and Instagram or whatever, I never keep any business cards on me, ever. Okay? The reason I don't is because they're not going to call you. Do you guys understand? So you have to have your phone ready, and you have to say, oh, let me do that. And then the next thing is, you know what? As a matter of fact, do you mind if I just send you over my V card if you ever have any real estate questions? And then I just send over my V card at that moment too, which is the one I want you to use for open houses. Everybody know what a V card is? Okay. So that's really, really important. So number one is just making sure that when they do come in the door, don't trust the sheet, trust your drawing. Your drawing is going to be $5, $10 gift cards to Starbucks. You know what? Hey, I'm collecting information. If you could just fill this little thing out, I'm going to throw you. I'll call you and let you know who won, and I'll just mail it out. I'm going to be selecting 5 people. Now they're going to give you the right stuff. Everybody is up for a free $10 Starbucks card or whatever else you want to do. So make sure and have them laid out. Make sure you have them laid out. And then that way you have their contact info. And what I would do is every single person that came into that open house that actually talked to you, I would call them and let them know they won. Every single one. You guys all won. You all won. You know what I'm saying? You won. As a matter of fact, I can either mail it to you, or if you want to swing by the office, or if you want to meet at a house, or do whatever. So make sure you do that. This one is one that goes way back, and people argue with me about it, and they say it's not the greatest thing ever. I don't care, they're wrong. The next one is the root beer float method. This one is from the Zings. The Zings have made, I'd say in the last 5 years, they probably averaged about $750,000 a year, is how much they make being realtors. The root beer float method is one of the things that got them started. So when you show up to the open house, they always bring a container of vanilla ice cream and 2 liters of root beer and some cups and some spoons. So what happens is when somebody comes in, especially if they've got kids or whatever, you say, oh, by the way, guys, I got some root beer floats here. Do you guys want some? And if they have kids, they're going to go nuts. So all of a sudden they'll be like, yeah, and I'm going to say, but you have to, hope you don't mind, you have to eat them drink them in the backyard or do whatever, especially with COVID and all that stuff going on. But you have to be careful on how we handle that. However, what am I trying to do by offering them a root beer float? So now Giselle's in front of me. She's like, okay, who in here right now, honest and truly, who would like to have a root beer float? I'd like to have one right now, right? Everybody's going to say yes to that. So now they're sitting in front of me, right? Giselle's in front of me. And I'm like, oh, well, cool. So now I can start asking my qualifying questions. You guys know what I'm talking about? So I've got her in front of me. I'm building rapport. So I've got the ice cream. I'm moving really slow. Let me go to the freezer. So let me ask you, Giselle, where are you from? And then blah, 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 blah. Well, what brought you out to Menifee? Oh, cool. Now I see you got, is this all your kids? Like, do you guys, oh, that's cool. Well, how long you been married? Okay, cool. So is this the only area that you're looking at? Or are you thinking maybe Marietta might be okay too? Or, whatever. So, but this gives me time to do what I do best, which is show off my personality, right? And that is all your guys' superpower. And if you don't have one, then, well, everybody in here's got one, well, except for like 3 of you. But anyway, so if you do that, then all of a sudden now I've got the opportunity to start, building the relationship with them. And that's really what this is all about. Now, I don't care if it's a root beer float or something else that you want to do, but I just want to be standing here in front of you, right, Johanna? And I want to be talking to you and saying like, oh, cool, this, that, whatever. Because that is your opportunity to hook them. You have to make them like you that fast, right? It's like being on speed dating, right? You just got to go, go, go. So that's the big one. The next one is what kind of questions do you ask? And I'm going to bring somebody up here in a few minutes, and we're going to do a role play, all right, which will be interesting. We'll have to see who it's going to be. Okay, so this is why people don't sit in the front row. Yeah. Okay. So big questions. How are you today? What brought you in today? I'm just curious. This is a big one. I'm just curious, just for my own marketing reasons. How did you find out about this open house? I just got to know because I'm advertising, trying to figure it out. And they want to help you. They'll help you. Was it the MLS? Did you find it through Zillow? Did you find it through the signs? Whatever. But do I really care about their answer? Yeah, I want to know where it's coming from. But what I really want to do is get them talking to me, because you're going to find they're going to wander in, just browsing, just looking. You're going to find that all the time, right? So you have to break past that ice. That's your job. That's what we're doing. So again. And here's a couple more questions that I'm going to use against, on you guys here. But so once I engage them, as I'm root beer floating or whatever, you know what, I am from the area, blah, 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 but I need to get something bigger, yada, yada. Okay, that's cool. Well, I have a question for you. And Vicki, I know you're going to, most of you guys, anybody out there in the real estate world, they're going to gasp when I say this. Are you working with another agent? Just out of curiosity, are you working with another agent? Chris, I'll role play with you, dude, all right? Can you get him the mic? All right, so Chris, are you working with another agent?
Yes, I am.
You are? Okay, well, would you mind telling me who that agent's name is?
Can't remember.
Okay, that's going to happen every single time. Because guess what? They're not working with another agent. They just want you to chill out and like back off, all right? When they say that, guess what? I got him. Does that make sense? I got him. Okay, he doesn't remember who it is. Okay, well, that's cool. Or, oh, my sister who lives in, Chula Vista.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, good.
Her
okay.
too.
Well, that's cool. Well, let me ask you this, Chris. I know you're working with somebody else, and the reason I'm really asking is I want to know, number one, if they work for Coldwell Banker. If they don't work for Coldwell Banker, they're mine. I'm going to get them. I just want you guys to know that. So my question next would be like, well, can I ask you one question? Is your agent sending you all the new stuff that is hitting the market? Like, are you being updated all the time?
I got a lotto ticket from her in Christmas.
Well, see, that's perfect. So, and the reason I'm asking him, if the agent is sending you the newest stuff is because I wanted to tell you, Mr. Buyer, Chris, I wanted to tell you what we offer here at Coldwell Banker and one of the things that we have. And can I see your phone again? And can you go into CB Buzz? So one of the things that we have, Chris, is like, this is a competitive market, man. And this market being so competitive, everybody out there, is just going through the same picked over properties. But I want to show you something that I think is super cool. All right, so you in Buzz?
My phone doesn't want to cooperate.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. So what I do is I'd pull out my phone, which I'm going to see if you can get to it here real quick. Thank you. All right, so ask a woman, Jake. That's what happens, all right? All right, so get shit done, Jake. All right, so.
I have those same phone problems too.
Yeah, same problem. So hey, Chris, I just wanted to show you this. This is our internal closed Facebook group that we have at Coldwell Banker. And like, if you take a look at this, like, you can kind of see, like, this is a property right here that hasn't hit the MLS yet. This one's in Lake Elsinore. This property right here. This is another property. This is a really good one. It's a senior property. I mean, a killer investment. But we have this one. It hasn't hit the MLS yet. I got another one right here. This one is super cool. 1.3 down in Marietta on Grace Lane. Hasn't hit the MLS yet. So if your agent is showing you just the stuff that's in the picked over MLS, I don't know, man. Are they really treating you right? And here's my next question for you, Chris. If I could find you your dream home, would you consider working with me?
Absolutely.
Okay. So thank you. All right, you can take that mic back. But do you guys understand what I just did? And do I sound like a snake in the grass? No. The reason that I'm not is because Chris came in alone. Where's his agent? Does that make sense? And he told me he didn't even remember his agent's name. You know, or if he did, you know, like, and I can tell you this, Chris, I'm going to work my ass off to get you into a property. And I'm going to show you stuff that's in CB Buzz, which is one of the benefits of not being with Keller Williams, but being with Coldwell Banker, is we have all the listings in the valley. So I'm going to show you, right? I'm going to show you everything before it hits the market. So does that sound like a good deal if I can show you that? So do you guys understand what I just did, though? Do you feel the power in that? That's one of the things about being with a bigger company, is you have the ability to do that. Vicki, what do you think? Was I unethical? We have arguments about that kind of stuff all the time.
That's literally new home sales.
New home sales?
Yeah, that's very similar to, they come in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't bring your agent in with you, they don't count.
Exactly. So, but I did like how Chris said it best. I don't remember my agent's name. That's exactly what they do. Don't ask, are you working with another agent, and be done. Always ask, what's the agent's name? And then you will see them like, and then you got them. Okay? All right, so if I could find you, a property, would you consider, an amazing property, would you consider working with me? If they're with Coldwell Banker, defer them right back. Oh, you know what? I just got to tell you, Jake is a great agent. I'm glad you're working for him. And then I would call Jake when it's done and say, hey, I just want to let you know, Chris came into my office or into the open house today, so make sure you're following up. So the other thing is flyers, of course. If you do have a flyer, you want that flyer to look like it's got your name on it. It's got the payment options on it. You can go to Point, any of your lenders that you're working with, and they will help make you flyers to make sure that you're prepared so that you have something to give them when they do come in, something physical. My big thing, and I don't know how you feel about this with COVID, Vicki, but my goal at every open house has always been to get them sitting at that dining room table with me. That has always been my goal. Because if I can get them sitting at that table and I can turn my laptop, like let's say you're right here, Giselle, and I can turn my laptop and I can start doing an MLS search with you standing right there, sitting at the table right next to me, I've got them sitting down looking at property with me. Do you guys understand? So, hey, I know that you wanted a 5-bedroom and this one's only a 4. You want to take a look and see what's been listed in the last day or two? Have a seat. And then I'll go into the MLS and I'll pull them up and I'm just going through them right then and there with them at the table. Because by doing that, I am building rapport. That's how you get them to stay working with you. If they just come in and you have a little brief conversation and you think they're going to call you or you can call them later and they're going to answer, they're not. You have to go that extra mile to build that relationship so that I know that Dylan knows me and he knows that I know my stuff. Does that make sense? And right there, you can set them up in the auto email. Well, I can set you up right now if you'd like, so that you can be notified of every single listing the minute it comes up. Would you like that? You know, and that's what you guys you're all doing that, right? You guys have all learned that from your mentors, that the minute you meet a person or anybody, you automatically put them in the auto emails so that they're receiving everything. If not, reach out to your mentor to do that. So sitting down and going through the MLS with them is a big, big deal. We talked about the 5, 5, and 10 rule. You know, I mean, this is kind of off the subject, but it's one of my favorite things. How many people in here have written an offer? Okay, watch this. Okay, keep your hands up. How many people got their offer through? Okay, all right, there's a few of you guys. So here's one of the things that I really, an idea that I like that not really have anything to do with open houses, but if you, raise your hand if you wrote an offer and it didn't get it through. Raise your hand. Okay, so you guys that did that, my recommendation is to get a list of personal notes, right? Get a package of Coldwell Banker personal notes, and send a note to every single person in that development that has exactly that size, same square footage in a household. You guys with me? So, you know, hey Chuck, and you'll have their names and everything, get that from Becca, from Fidelity Title. Hey Mark, this is Chuck. I just want to let you know we had 32 offers on your neighbor's house around the corner. I was one of the offers. Do you have any interest in selling your property? because we have buyers up the yin-yang for it, or whatever. I mean, of course, I'm going to say it a little bit more eloquently than that. But by doing so, I at least am reaching out with a personal note. And if somebody calls you and says, you know what, I have been thinking about selling, would you mind bringing your client by? That's just another little hook. Not a waste of your time. So if I did, for all of you guys, and here's one of the things why I'm saying that. When you sit in open house, it's very easy for you to get caught up in flipping on the TV, in watching a game, in getting on the phone with a friend, in just calling your mom, okay, whatever it may be. Well, I don't know, it's pretty busy right now, you might not have the time to do that. But that's how it used to be, right? So remember, when you're done rifling through their drawers and their cabinets and all that stuff, make sure that you spend time, which is really fun. You'd be surprised. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Don't listen to me. I'm totally joking. But the most important thing is when you do have that downtime, make the most of it. So for those of you guys that have written offers on properties that didn't go through, you should be writing personal notes to all the people that have that same house in the same development. You guys, you with me? Don't waste your time at the open houses during those downtime. Make the most of it. Do productive things. If you're there already and you're working from 6 to 8 hours, you're going to have some downtime. Make the most of it and do things that are going to make you money. So if you guys sat an entire open house and you were there for 8 hours and you showed people houses and you built 1 or 2 connections with people and you sent out 20 texts, just 20 texts. Hey, I'm sitting in an open house here today. This house is great. It's in Marietta, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage for $429, and you sent it out to 20 people. I'm happy. That's called prospecting. You're working. You're actively texting that out to people. Here's a picture of me at the house. Here's me saying, hey, if you know anybody, blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense? Just don't waste your time when you're there, because a lot of people do. A lot of people do. Okay, what else we got? Keep a list of other areas, of other properties in the area. And Vicky's going to lose it right now, and so are all the listing agents going to lose their shit on me right now, but I don't care, because guess what? We're about us right now, okay, not them. So here's the kicker. Somebody comes in, right? Somebody comes in and they say, you know what, I like this house. I get them into a conversation. We're having it, but it's not quite exactly what I want. We're in town from Huntington Beach right now. We're going to be heading back in a couple of hours, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm be like, but we're really interested. We've already been pre-qualified. We're this, we're that. And you have a list of properties. What are you going to do? They're there for 2 more hours. I have 4 more hours left in my open house. They want to look at property. What are you going to do?
You're leaving the open house.
That's a tough one.
Right then and there. Bye.
You know what I'm saying, Vicki?
Yep.
Here's what I'm doing. You know what? Only 4 people are going to win the Starbucks thing, because here's a $10 card. You go right over to Starbucks. You grab yourself a couple of coffees. I'm going to set up 2 appointments right now. There's 2 other properties that you have to see. Okay? And I'm going to close down that open house, and I'm going to go show those properties. The listing agent is going to be pissed. They're not going to like it. Okay? However, you have to head it off at the pass. So let's say you're sitting in one of Vicky's houses. These people come in, they like the house, but they want to look at a couple more. They're here from Huntington. They're going to be gone in 2 hours. And I would call Vicky and I would say, Vicky, I got good news. Good news, Vicky. These people really like this house. They really think it's great, but they want to compare it to a couple more before they do anything. So I just want to let you know, my job, I did get somebody in that is a Reading and Willie buyer. So I'm closing down the open house. I'm going to go show them a couple comparable properties. I just wanted to let you know. By doing that, hey, the open house was successful, Dylan, right? I've got somebody right now. They like this house, but I'm going to show them a couple more. You guys with me? So that way, I have the ability to close that down, build rapport, get them out, show them more houses, because I'm not there to hope that somebody comes back and buys Vicky's house or keeps sellers happy. I mean, I want to do that. That's part of what we do. But more importantly, I'm looking for buyers, and I'm looking for somebody that wants to buy a house. And remember when I said it's the quickest way to a paycheck? You got somebody that's only there for 2 more hours and they're from Huntington. You better get your ass out there and show them some properties. That's why you need to keep that list of properties available. Or when you were sitting down, and this is one of my favorite things, when you were sitting down going through the MLS with them, like I was with Giselle, and I see a couple vacants. I love showing vacants because there's no appointment. You just go. And it just gives me time to, get in front of you guys.
Chuck, Todd Conklin also says, close it.
Yeah.
Todd Conklin, close it. Oh, well, good. Hey, and Todd's got a shitload of agents, and I hope his agents yell at him too like they do at me. Thanks, Todd. Good man.
I agree too, Chuck.
Yeah, well, thank you. So keep a list of other area properties. You really do?
Yeah, I do.
Do you remember that one day they almost beat me up?
You just let the seller know that if somebody comes in, they're going to need to see other homes. I may have to shut down this house here.
Perfect. All right, so like I said, Mr. Seller, I have good news. That's how you have to approach it. So I closed it to show them some comparables. I'm going to let you know. Looks like it went well, all right? So the other thing is, this I'll never forget this. I mean, I'm 2 seconds from losing my shit when this agent did this. I mean, I was right there. She sat in an open house. It was a really primo open house. She had a ton of people through, and she said, I had somebody come through. Oh, no, she told me, she goes, the open house sucked. And I said, oh, really? I said, really? And she goes, yeah. She goes, I got one person that said they might want to sell their house in 3 months. And I'm like, you got one person that might want to, and I said, okay, it was Tuesday. She sat the open house on Saturday, right? So that being the case, I was literally sitting there going like, and did you call her like immediately, and have you been over to see the house yet, and have you given her the things that she needs to do and started giving her values? And she's like, no, I'll call her near the end of the week or whatever. You're toast. You're done. You're gone. It's over. You have to immediately call anyone that's interested. And I'm talking like you get home that night after you've closed that open house and you text them or you call them that night. Urgency is everything. If you wait till Tuesday, it's gone. They've already forgotten what you look like, Dylan. You know what I mean? So it's really important that you move quickly. Or if you tell somebody, you know what, I got to get back to Huntington. I'm taking my mom to dinner tonight because it's Mother's Day or whatever. Say, no problem. I will send you 3 or 4 properties that I think you really got to take a look at. And you send that the minute that open house is closed or while you're still at that open house. You have to go now. Urgency is everything because you have such a small window to work with these people. You understand? So when she said Tuesday, I literally lost it. But whatever. So again, if you don't make an appointment, they move on quickly. One of the other things is, I don't know how you feel about this one. This is I didn't say this, another agent said this, so don't hold me accountable for this. But hey, Jake, I know I met you at the open house Sunday, and I know you were looking for a 4-bedroom in Marietta. There's one coming up on Thursday, dude. One coming up on Thursday. I think it's going to meet your criteria exactly. I can't give you all the details yet, but are you available on Thursday? All right, but you got to get out here. You're going to have to move quick. All right, you can get out here on Thursday? Okay, great. All right, good to talk to you. Click. Shit, I better go find myself a 4-bedroom in Marietta that's coming out on Thursday. All right, so that's another way to go about doing it. All right, so just a thought, And that's called urgency. But you see, he said absolutely though, right? I got him. He's coming, right? So that's a big one. The next one is, again, I'll text you the details, whatever, but don't send them all the details. Never send them all the details. Don't give them the listing agent's name. Sometimes don't even give them the address. They will always tell you, do not give them the address. If you give them the address, they're going to give it to their agent. Just say, you know what, I'm going to have to meet you at my office. I can't give you out the address yet, but can you swing by? How about Saturday about 2 o'clock, whatever. If you do, they will go right around you, and they will use another agent, and they will call that sister in Chula Vista and have that sister drive up. So it's really important that you do that. The next thing is when they come out. Again, I want you to always be giving out your V card. We talked about that before, right? My contact card that says Chris Watkins and then in caps, Realtor, right next to my name. Make sure that your V card with your name on it that you're sharing with every client says Realtor on it so that they know who you are. So again, when they come to that open house, you know what? I've got a new one coming up on Thursday, Sandy. I saw it in Buzz, which I just showed you. And I want to make sure that I text you the minute it comes up. Can I send you my V card with my contact information?
Sure.
Okay, good. So I'm going to send it to you right now. What's your number? What did I just do? I just got her number. That's the most important thing in the entire planet is getting her number, right? So that being the case, you guys just have to make sure that you remember, yes, I've got them on my Facebook. Yes, I've got it on my Instagram, but there is nothing more powerful than the number. So by asking them, can I send you my contact information for that new listing that may be coming up on Thursday, I have captured that. That is the key to everything, right? What do we want? Contact information. Do we hand out cards? No. We collect information. By getting that phone number and their name, we collect it, right? So that's what I want you guys to be thinking. No more handing out business cards. All right, so got that number. I'm so excited about that, by the way. I'm super jacked. And again, getting back to them quickly. The next thing is, whenever you ask them questions, do this. Shut up and listen. Don't talk too much. Ask them questions. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They want to know that you're a nice person, that you got a good moral compass, so you have to sell that really quick. But most importantly, I want to know about you. So Johanna, just let me ask you a question. So I see you have 2 kids. You guys only have 2? So now I've got you talking. So where do you live? Huntington? Oh, how'd you end up? Where'd you go to high school? And then you just shut up and let them talk. You guys have all read How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? The best book ever written on planet Earth. Period, hands down for the real estate agent, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's about getting them talking because don't forget this. He or she who asks the questions controls the conversation. You guys with me? He or she who asks the questions controls the conversation. They don't care about you. They care about them. And you'd be surprised what you'll hear. So that's just one thing. So shut up and listen. That's one of my favorite lines. All right, so who wants to role play? Who wants to role play? Who do we want to pick on? Let's see. How about North Carolina? Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Ding, 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 ding. Come on down. All right, so you're going to walk in over here. Here's the door. Okay. So I got my mask on. I got all that sort of stuff. Come on and walk in the door. You've got to stay in this box right here. Okay. Well, hi, how are you?
Hi, doing good.
Good, good. I'm Chuck. Just wanted to say welcome to the open house.
Thank you.
I know, sorry you had to wait in the line out there. I know it's been crazy. But just a quick question for you. Did you sign in on the sign-in sheet when you were out front?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good, good. And now I got your phone number. Just wanted to let you know. But anyway, so what do you think of the house so far?
I mean, love it. I
looking
love
at
it. It's exactly what I'm looking for.
Good, good, good. Well, hey, quick question. Are you working with any other agents?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, well, so far so good on this one. So, so that being the case, okay, so if you're not working with another agent, you love the house already, right? So that's really good. I would prefer if you were working with another. I was going to use that line, but that's okay. So, so I just wanted to show you a few things. Like, does something like this house work for you? Have you been looking for a long time?
Well, I just started.
You just started
Yep,
looking.
just
Okay,
started.
cool, cool. And where are you coming from?
I'm coming from North Carolina,
Oh, North Carolina. Where at?
on the Outer Banks.
Go Tar Heels?
Yes.
Ah, nice, nice. Okay, well that's super cool. And so what brought you out here?
Military move. My
Military
husband's at
transfer.
Camp Pendleton.
Oh, cool. So are you guys going to be getting a VA loan?
Yes.
Okay, have you been pre-qualified yet? Have you talked to anybody?
I have talked to somebody. I don't have my letter yet.
Okay, you don't have your letter. And you feel good with
Yep.
that lender? You feel like they're good to go?
Yep.
Okay, okay, cool. So, so how many bedrooms do you need? What are you looking for? Describe to me the dream home.
Well, I need 4 bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
I need 2.5 baths. I love a big kitchen. Gotta
Okay.
have a big kitchen.
Okay. Well, this one's only got 3 bedrooms.
Oh.
So, you know, unfortunately, but I do have to tell you, we do have another one coming up on Thursday. Are you just looking in Marietta, or like what area are you willing to look to?
Yeah, Marietta, Menifee, just not too far from Camp Pendleton.
Okay, and have you realized how rough it is out there? Like when you've been looking around?
Yes.
Like 30
yes,
offers on everything?
Yes.
So that being the case, I wanted to show you something, and I pull out my phone, right? I'm gonna say, this is our internal Facebook group. So all these properties that you see here, these haven't hit the market yet. So again, like I said, I have one coming up on Thursday. Do you mind if I text you the info when this listing comes up?
Sure.
Can I send you over my
Yeah,
V card?
sure,
Okay, cool.
sure.
So what's your number?
252.
Okay, boom, 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 right? I get her number, I type it in my phone. Okay, there's my V card.
Okay.
So let me just save your name. Okay, and what was your name again?
Leanne.
Okay, Leanne. Hey, why does the sign-in sheet have a different number than what you just gave me? What's going on here?
That's why I don't have a real estate agent.
Okay, all right. No, I'm just totally kidding. So, okay, good, good. So I just want to let you know we have new stuff every day. And what's your schedule today? Like, where are you staying right now?
Well, we're staying with some friends.
You're staying with some friends, and how's that going?
It's hard, especially with children.
Do they have
Yeah.
kids or your kids?
Our kids.
Oh, okay, I understand that. Oh, they're probably real happy to have you there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. So, okay, well, that's really cool. And just out of curiosity, what's your schedule like today? Have you looked at any other properties or?
Well, I plan on looking around. I'm
Okay,
gonna
cool.
drive around,
So you
do
just
some
started
stuff.
looking?
Yep.
All right, so that's cool. So, and then how quickly do you need to move?
Well, hopefully within a month or 2.
Okay, so
We
you
need to
like 30
get
to
out,
60
yeah.
days?
Mhm.
Okay, so that being the case, the clock is ticking, right?
Yes,
And
yeah.
your friends, you want to keep them as friends,
Yes,
right? Okay,
yes.
all right,
We
good.
need
So-
our place.
Okay, good. So that being the case, I'll tell you what, like I said, I have some new listings coming up, but I wanted to can I just sit down with you and show you
Oh,
what's going
yeah,
on in the
sure.
MLS? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, let's do it.
So have a seat, and she sits down. That's when I'll load up the MLS on my laptop or my iPad, and I'll just start showing you properties. This one is vacant. It's right around the corner. Do you want to go take a look at it?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
let's do it.
So let's do that. Here's a Starbucks card. I'm gonna one unlucky person's not gonna win this one. Here's a $10 card, right? And then why don't you just run over to Starbucks? I'll close this up. I'll call and make 2 or 3 appointments, and then I'll meet you there. Does that sound like a deal?
That sounds great.
Okay, good, good. All right, well, thank you very much, and I will
Yes.
see you in a few minutes. Here's a Starbucks
All right.
card. Go.
All right, thanks.
Okay, cool. So that right there is. Thank you very much. That's a typical. Now she was very nice because she's from North Carolina. Californians are dickheads. Okay, very, very, very different. Who wants to be a dickhead? Who'd be a good one in here? There's quite a few of you, actually. But no, I'm just kidding. So, so you guys saw like how I captured their information. I was willing to shut my open house. She was not currently working with an agent. She had urgency of 30 to 60 days. You get a buyer like that, you know that's the dream, right? That was the dream buyer. Has anybody had any other difficulties or objections or anything that they want to ask about right now? Anybody had any rough times? I know you haven't been able to sit them yet. And by the way, any of you guys that want to drop anything in the chat, if you have questions in the chat, situations in the chat, if you want to argue with me in the chat, whatever, just throw it out there, all right? And we'll try to get those questions answered also.
Jennifer Moore said you need to thank him for his service, by the way.
Jennifer Moore?
Yeah.
Thank who? Oh, thank who for? Oh, her husband?
Yeah.
Good one, good one. It's because her husband's a fireman and she wants to, yeah, I'm with you, I know. Yes, Anthony.
Yeah, I got a question. So when a neighbor comes in the open house, how do you collect their information or get past them just being like, oh, I'm just a neighbor, just trying to like look at the house?
Okay, so here's how I would do it. Give him that mic, come on up. All right, so you pretend you're the neighbor. So, hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Just taking a look around.
Oh, good, good, good. Now, are you looking to buy, or what's your situation?
No, just the neighbor. Just wanted to
Oh, the
see.
neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm Chuck. Shake hands, whatever. Cool. Nice to meet you. So, what brought you over?
I just kind of wanted to see the layout. I wanted to see how it looked compared to my house.
Okay,
kinda.
cool, cool. Have you don't have any? Do you have any interest in selling your house right now?
Oh no, we just moved in not too long ago.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. So, who is your agent?
I was working with someone from Keller Williams.
Remember their name?
No.
Good. That's what I want to hear. All right. Okay. Cool. Cool. So, well, that being the case, and then how long do you plan on staying in the area?
We're having our first child, so we'll probably be here a while.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
really
you.
awesome. Well, I'll tell you what. Take your time. Take a look around. And if you don't mind, I also can send you out updates of what's going on in your neighborhood. That's Prospect Square, by the way, just so you guys know. So, like, it'll literally every week send you a value on your house and what's happening in this neighborhood and all that stuff. Do you want me to send you that?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to pull out my phone real quick. I'm going to just send you my V card, so you can so I can text you new properties that come up and all that sort of stuff. Would you mind just sharing with me your phone number?
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay, boom. So boom, boom, boom. I sent him his V card. Now I'm jazzed, right? And what's your name again?
Oh, Anthony.
Anthony. And what's your last name?
Forbes.
Anthony Forbes. Okay, cool, cool. So, all right, well, that sounds great. I'm going to send you over some stuff. Take a look around the house. By the way, I've got some root beers going in the back. You want a root beer?
Definitely, yeah.
All right, man. Come on, let's go hang out.
Can I get two?
If you list with me someday, I will do it. All right?
Possibly.
All right, good. So, and then at that point, I would bring him back, and I would still try to build rapport, because what do I really want to do? I want to add him into my database. Right? I want to add him into my sphere, into my elevated. So that's what I do. All I'm really trying to do, remember your job in life, guys. Your job in life is to be social and capture people's information and talk real estate. You have to live it, you have to breathe it, you have to be it wherever you are. I don't care if you're at the grocery store, and that's why you guys all got the money for the name tags, is because we have sold homes to the assistant manager at the Walgreens across the Marietta office, the manager at Jay Carter's across the Marietta office. We've sold property. My job right now is to capture Anthony. I want his information, I want him going to my database, and I got to make this memorable. So, tell me a little bit about you. What you do? What do you do?
I was actually trying to transition into a career in real estate.
Oh, really? What did you do in the past?
I was in the military.
Oh, you're in the military. Well, dude, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
And so now I'm going to put in my notes, military, so you're going to make a few notes about this guy inside of your closed thing. So again, thank you, man. Does that help you?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Okay, good. So what am I trying to do with each and every person that I meet? I'm trying to capture their information and add them into my database. So that's that. Are there any other questions out there? Yes?
No, it was actually very similar.
Really? If a neighbor comes in?
Yeah, because same thing like I said, I'm running a lot of new homes. In new homes, everyone's, oh, I'm just looking. I do it. I live in a new development. I go look at all of them. Twice I've almost moved.
Really?
Yeah, they've had my floor plan available.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, just to kind of break past that.
Okay. So that being the case, just remember that everything you do is just about trying to create contacts. And I hate to go all the way back to the beginning, but so an open house, like if you guys know Sue Collins, who works here in the Canyon Lake office, I met her through an open house. I was sitting in the open house. 6 years later, she ended up buying 3 or 4 waterfronts from me. Buy and sell and stuff like that. So you have to keep in contact, but I was always really good at making sure I kept in contact. So your job is just to collect information, and then you guys know the action calendar that we have is how you're going to do that. Everybody's familiar with the action calendar, right? Just making sure that you're sending out your texts and reaching out to them like, hey, Anthony, and as soon as that thing is closed, hey, Anthony, it was great to meet you. Again, thanks for your service, man. I'm adding you to this database. I'm going to send you over the emails giving you the updates on what's happening in the market, and thanks again for stopping by. But I've immediately gotten back to him, and he's gone into my database. He's gone into my Facebook. He's going into my Instagram. And at least he's one more potential hook down the road of somebody that may or may not use me, but I'll take it. You with me? So what other questions do you guys have? What kind of struggles are you guys having? How are we doing on time? Oh, we got a few minutes. What kind of struggles are you guys having so far? Because I know it's rough out there, and you guys look beat up, all right? Yes? Go ahead, John.
What if they automatically get tired of those, updates, and they just want to
No problem. Because remember, so Joanna, if I added you into my database, okay, if I added you into my database, you're not just going to get those updates. You're going to get a lotto ticket for St. Patrick's Day. You're going to get a holiday card. You're going to see all of my posts. you're going to get me commenting on every single social media post that you put out. You're going to get, you're going to see what I do. Like, I'm going to engage Anthony forever in every avenue that I can. Texts, emails, social media. The Prospect Square and the updates, if they block those things, whatever, that's cool with me. As long as I've got the other pieces going to Anthony, so that whenever Anthony thinks about real estate, he thinks about Chuck Whitehead. That's all I really care about. You know what I mean? So does that help? Okay, so that is your job. Your job is to get in front of people and make absolutely sure that they never forget you, right? So if you're going to a grocery store and you're talking to the clerk, you're going to hopefully build a relationship where you can capture some stuff, And just remember this, never, ever take off your name badge. Never take off your name badge. Keep that in your cup holder. You put it on at 8:30 when you leave, and you take it off when you get home at 7 o'clock that night. Everywhere you go, everything you do, you always wear that name badge. Because if you don't, they don't know what you do. And when you do go to a baby shower or a bridal shower or whatever, we have all the Coldwell Banker swag. We got a whole bunch more coming in. So whatever you do, wherever you go, you want to wear that. So I'm showing up at a bachelorette party, or I'm at an open house, or whatever. Sorry, just came from an open house. Just came from work. I just came. But my job is to let everyone know what I do. I used to have this guy that I coached with. He used to wear his name tag to football practice, and he was a coach. Okay, he wore his name tag, and I'm like, what? He's, oh, I forgot, man, I forgot. I'm like, yeah, sure you did. I love you, man. Give me a hug. Bring it in. But so everything you do and everywhere you go, and so the apparel also just everything you're doing, you're just letting people know what you do. I'll give you a couple more tips that have nothing to do with open houses. So you're just getting ready you win an escrow on your first house, right, Norma? Congratulations. So when that closes, what are we going to do? Okay. What's that? Right, you're going to put it everywhere. And then what are you going to do for the client? So here's what you do for the client. Hopefully they're not really like COVID, super like homebound and working from home. Whenever you send a client gift, you always send the client gift to their house. You always send the client gift to their work. Most people send it to their house. But if I send it to their house, what's that going to do for me? Maybe get a post, but if I send it to their work, they're going to go like, oh shit, well my agent didn't send me a big thing of flowers or whatever. So that's one thing, is you're just trying to expose yourself to as many people like that. The next thing, kids? How old?
10, 9, 6, and 3.
Okay, that's like,
I know.
gets me so excited. Here's why. That's 4 little opportunities to sell houses. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so
Sports, school.
Sports. So, and again, for those of you guys that are parents, always be the team mom. Always be an assistant coach. Always be the person that is in charge of the communications with the parents. You with me? Always be the person that is in charge of the communication with the parents. If you are in a club, if you are in a poker club, even with a bunch of buddies, I'll be the one that sends out the text. If you are in, animal friends, whatever it may be, just make sure that you put yourself in a leadership position where the sign off on all my emails says, Dylan Hafner, Real Estate, Coldwell Banker, with my phone number. You with me? Everything you do is an opportunity for you to get in front of people and to build relationships with those people. There's nothing better than kids for that. I mean, all of my business was built on that. All the coaching, everything. What's some other little tips that you guys can use?
Sponsor the Little League.
Yeah,
Sponsor a lot of the events.
Yes, for sure.
I'd say in the chat, Jennifer Moore also says always sponsor the team.
Mm-hmm.
Denise Hernandez says she was wearing her name badge last night and got a lead from it.
Give me a hug, Denise.
And then the other one was...
Where was she? Message her back and ask her where
Denise,
she was.
let us know where you were.
Yeah, Denise, where were you when you got that out? Was it like 9 o'clock at a restaurant, or how did you do it? I love that.
And then when you were doing the role play with Anthony, Jennifer Moore also said, when he was saying he was one of the neighbors, ask him if he has any friends or family that want to be neighbors.
Damn it, stop one-upping me, Jennifer.
I think we need to have her in here sometime.
Oh, no, she's the best. She's the best. We do. Well, it's because, you know what, all these guys are like Jennifer Moore, and I mean, they're all like the best open house people on the planet, but they haven't been able to use it. You know what I mean? No one's been able to use their superpowers, but now we can. Now we can. So again, name badges. I also do like car magnets, because a lot of your neighbors don't even know what you do. But again, so we know our job is to collect as many people as we can, right? And add them into our database and add them into our social media and put them on our texting programs and do all that sort of stuff. How many people in here's next door neighbors are not in their database? Liars. Ooh. Raise them all up. You're all lying. Oh, is yours? Man. Yours?
I know my neighbors.
All right, okay. You two are okay. I believe you.
I almost have one 2 doors down. So.
All right, okay, good. So, you have the whole block?
Yes. one into the other.
All right, so that's what it's about. Collect, 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 collect. You know, and then once you've got all these people, let's say you've got 500 people put together, because your job is to collect people. Then you want to take it down to 100. So you're going to have two databases: my top 100 and everybody else. Everybody else, they might receive, you know, through my Hit 'em Up app, which we've talked about, the text app. They might receive a text from me, you know, once a month, and then an email or this or that. But these top 100, these are my gold. These are the ones, like I said before, they're going to get a Happy New Year's text personally from me. They're going to get a lotto ticket on St. Patrick's Day. They're going to get texts in between that are going to say like, hey, I'm working with this great couple. Here's a picture of them. They're looking to buy in Menifee, but there's absolutely no listings at all available. Do you happen to know anybody looking to sell in Menifee? Then they're going to receive a beach ball for Memorial Day. Then they're going to receive a cheesecake for 4th of July. Then they're going to receive, then they're going to receive, then they're going to receive, right? Now, I'm not saying the cheesecake, that's a little bit pricey, but how I determine somebody that's in my top 100 versus everyone else is I ask this question: is this person worth $25? Is this person worth $25? If they're not, Yonner, if they're not worth $25, then put them in your B group, because that's what you're going to spend on them. I mean, I've delivered a box of See's candy to my top 100 every single year since I've been in real estate, right? I mean, like for those of you guys that were here, you got the charcuterie boards that we put out, right? I mean, we did bobbleheads for our people. Like, we do the same thing within our company to you guys as agents as you need to be doing to your clients as well, right? Because it just makes you feel like, cool, these guys appreciate me, you know what I mean? And you have to show your clients that you appreciate them. So, yes, Vicki.
Hey, Chuck, also, when you have a listing and you close that listing, be sure to put the buyer in your database, because that agent that represented the buyer is not going to keep in touch with them, and they will sell again in the future, and you'll be the one that will get it.
And I love doing that. Gives me the warm and fuzzies.
I was going to say, Shanaz and I had 2 sales in the last year where we sold them. We represented the seller in 2017, and during 2020 they sold, and we represented them on the sale.
I like it. I like it.
The other agents.
All right, I'm going to tell, we have 3 minutes left. I'm going to tell one final story that you guys have probably heard before, but I don't care. I know a lot of them out in TV land have. So I was 26 years old. I was here in Canyon Lake. One of my clients, or this guy, he wasn't a client at the time, I asked him, I went and asked him, I said, hey, I always ask, every time I meet somebody, I always ask them this question: who sold you your house? That's the first question I ask. And if they're like, nah, they're mine. But she's like, oh, Janet Pigeon from Prudential. And I said, okay, cool, Janet sold. Okay, cool. And I said, all right, well, that's cool. You know, I kind of small talk. He was president of the Wakeboard Club. His dad was Bill Medley from the Righteous Brothers. You know, we were talking, but I knew he owned the baddest ass house in Canyon Lake. So I went ahead and I threw him on my database anyway. And then about 7 months later, he called me. And he said, hey, Chuck, I want to list my house. Would you come over? And I said, sure. And I went over to his house, and poor Vicky's heard this so many times. And I got to his house, but I'll never forget it. And I was sitting down, and he goes, Chuck, you said, you know what, you're a younger guy. You generally work with first-time buyers and blah, 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 blah. He goes, do you know why you're here and why I want to work with you? And I said, no, I don't. And he goes, right there. And so waterfront, little wicker chair sitting in the corner with a big, giant Chuck Whitehead beach ball sitting on his wicker chair. And I was like, ooh, you know, that's pretty cool. And he goes, dude, your marketing is so cool, and you're so consistent. He goes, there's no way I could use anyone but you. He goes, and he goes, look, you know, Janet took good care of me and all that stuff, but your stuff, you've just been consistent and stayed in touch with me. And I said, thanks, cool. So back in, what, I was 26, so what, like 4 years ago? Basically, maybe a little more. So anyways, you know, ended up putting it on the market that night, got my photos done, all that stuff. The next morning, got a call that somebody wanted to show it. By 2 p.m., I had an offer. All cash, 10 days, $865. Big deal for me back then. Big deal. Guess who the offer was from? Janet Pigeon. All right? The funny part about it is she didn't keep in touch, but I did. You guys with me? So I sold him that. Sold him a $400,000 house. Sold him $400,000 lot. He built a huge house on it. I sold that house for $2.7 million. Double-ended it. He paid me 6%, $180,000 on that. Bought another house down in Temecula, you know, and just continually rocks and rolls and goes and goes and goes, because I was consistent in what I mailed him and in my marketing pieces, and always reminded him, don't forget about me, don't forget about me, don't forget about me. So you guys with me? So that's the beach ball story. So anyways, we are at 10 o'clock, and we are all wrapped up. Unless there are any more final questions, we are out of here. Anybody? All right, guys, so remember, be aggressive with these listing agents. Try to get a hold of their listings. Don't be afraid to sit during the middle of the week. I don't care if it's a Wednesday. Shit is crazy. do it. And just really butter them up and try to get in. When you are there, make sure that you're building relationships. Well, I'm doing what? I'm capturing their information. I'm adding them to my social media. And I take good care of them once I get them into my database. So anyways, hope you guys got something good out of that. Everybody happy?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. We're out of here. Thanks, guys.